Fantastic evening, everyone. While we wait for the AC's chillness to kick into the room, and we'll wait for the chill that we received from outside to leave. Firstly, fantastic to see you all here today, that too on a rainy day, in a warm room. It's a good news that's coming up. We actually had one of our Toastmasters who was placed first in a special 300th meeting that BTM had. It's also a proud occasion for two reasons. One, it was their 300th meet and they had contestants coming from multiple different clubs. And second, one of our members and a great leader in the Toastmasters fraternity was the one who gave direction to this particular club. And let's give it to Toastmaster Sai Snehal for a fantastic win that he had in this particular club. Now from VPE's end, the update will be given by the end of the meeting. I think these are a little different times. Ujjwal had to be here, but because of rain, he is stuck elsewhere, but we'll get you the update by the end of this meeting. With that, we'll make some space and make some way for our sergeant to take over.
Where ordinary ends, killer instinct begins. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome, dear guests, to an evening filled with fun, learning, networking, rains, and speeches galore. So in order to develop a killer instinct, you might agree with me that we all need mental focus. Do you agree? So in order to develop mental focus, we need to remove all distractions. And no distractions means no ringing phones in the meeting. So please take 5 seconds and silence your phones. Thank you. So as soon as I heard the theme today, killer instinct, a visual popped into my head. It was a pair of eyes. Does anybody care to guess whose eyes those might have been?
Predator. Some kind of predator.
Maybe.
Tiger.
It was Bruce Lee's eyes. His gaze actually is known as the 1,000-yard stare. Do you know how long 1,000 yards is? It's almost a kilometer. It is 0.9 kilometers. So anyway, when I look into his slit, intense eyes, a bunch of words come to my mind. You might agree with those. Focused, unwavering, committed, determined, right? And unstoppable comes to mind. In his book, also called Unstoppable, the author Dave Anderson talks about something like this. He says that no matter how high your talent, skill, experience and knowledge might be, it is all about activating all of those to the levels that it could be for you. And when you see that these are activated to those levels, you are sure to recognize all the opportunities that come your way and you can convert them into an achievement. Now I feel that this is nothing but killer instinct, right? So killer instinct is nothing but the relentless pursuit of excellence and the mental toughness to see it through and take it to completion and make an achievement out of it. So talking about such passion and commitment, so there was this person who started their career as a sales manager in Swiggy and then moved on to a sales head in Zomato. Because of his interest in education, he recognized an opportunity in education and and trained 10,000 students in the art of personality development. Because of his unwavering commitment to education, he is now the principal at Achieve School of Education. I'm sure all of you heard the pride in his voice a couple of weeks back when he introduced one of his students as a prospective Toastmaster. So Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together and help me welcome our president, Toastmaster Balaji.
Okay, I understand. Firstly, even before I could continue, let's give Toastmaster Lakshmi, a nice round of applause. I'll tell you why. Because it's not a regular sight that I actually end up in this room by 5:30. And when I came in at 5:30 today and looked at where the room was and how it had to set up, I really had this extra love and respect for the role of Sergeant at Arms at Mekon. There was just 2 stacks of chairs, and everything that you see outside could be the flags, the flex, the lectern, everything stacked inside. Everything moved and set up for all of us to have a comfortable meeting. I think Toastmaster Lakshmi deserves a huge round of applause. Right? While we figure out who the secretary of the day is going to be, we would like to take this opportunity to go ahead and get to know a little about the guests who have come in today. Right? Let's start with you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jairam. I was here last week as well. So this is my second week I'm coming here as a guest. Some familiar faces and a lot of new faces. I work as a software engineer in a company called Software AG. So I was very Software AG. So that's all.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. And we have someone who's come in all the way from Hubli, if I'm right. Please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. I'm Nitish. I'm from Hubli Toastmasters Club, Dishpande Educational Trust Toastmasters Club Hubli. So I was introduced by Sindhushree. I work at Kalagota as a UX UI designer intern.
Thank you so much. The space that you're working in definitely got a lot of our eyebrows right to the channeling head. Okay, with that, I'd like to share a nice story with all of you. Before I go ahead and share this story, I want to ask you all a few questions. How many of you have passed by a bakery which sells cigarettes and has around 15 to 20 smokers around? Just as you pass, you have felt disgusted because that's something that you don't want on the road that you are walking. How many of you have felt that? Quite a few. How many of you have seen young kids aged 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 being beaten up black and blue by their parents, especially in a few localities where the entire family is actually on the streets, but it's a common sight so many times on the main road. Have you seen these visuals? And how many of you feel that people who are growing under these circumstances, it's not about the beating that the kid is receiving at that point in time, but the after effects that the kid is going to carry with itself? Have you ever been in a situation where you're sitting in a room and you see the elders of the house, siblings in the house, friends being high on drugs, injecting themselves with the most toxic substances and being abusive to each other? Have you ever seen an instance like this? I'm sure no. But the protagonist in my story, as a young child, grew up in a household like this, where drugs was commonly used, where beating this child up was a regular sight. And when this little kid went crying to her parents to complain about the abuse that she had been a part of, the parents said, you know what, this is normal. And this happens to every child here. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. As a teenager, It was just one good thing that happened to her. She landed up in a career where she could finally throw her voice out for people. But within a short span of time, that opportunity was taken away from her, and people told, you know what, speaking is not for you. You should find a career that really suits your background. I would like to put this under double quotes. You better choose something that suits who you are. And today, she is worth $1 billion. She is one of the most famous and influential media personality and an entrepreneur. Any guesses who we are talking about? Such a popular personality, right? And every single time she comes on stage and she speaks, we think like she's been through a colory and wavy life. She's not had problems, she's not got problems, because why? She's a billionaire. What problems can she have? Well, she did not become a billionaire overnight. Everybody goes through challenges. Everybody goes through dark times. I really hope and pray no one's time to get as dark as what Oprah went through. But we have our own fair share of tough roads that we would have walked. Can we get through these tough roads? Maybe. Can we fight all these challenges? Maybe. Can we ever overcome all of this? Maybe. But with a killer instinct? For sure. Killer instinct is not an instinct that you have one of these days and make use of it. Killer instinct is the kind of person you are. Killer instinct is a kind of personality trait that you possess. And the best part, it could definitely be imbibed into each one of us. With that, I would love to tell that here we have so many of them who have joined Mekon with a clear-cut goal that they need to ace public speaking. They need to take up leadership roles. A beautiful platform created so that you can put your killer instincts to test. And the best part, each one of us can. So if Oprah with that background can become a billionaire, I'm definitely going to start a lot more positively and just thank the universe for one thing, for making my path a little more easy and making it a lot more quicker to where we want to get. Wishing you all the very best for the paths that you have chosen. I hereby open this fantastic meeting. When I heard the theme is Killer Instinct, one killer person of Mekon came to my mind. The dynamism he brings into this club, the voice that he carries with him, the attitude that he walks into the room, and the best, the humility he maintains throughout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ravikumar.
Thank you. Good evening all, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. President, what a wonderful introduction. It becomes the abundant, enormous responsibility on my part to take it forward. Nevertheless, I'll try my best. Now, diving into this topic, during 1970s, Wimbledon, which is very famous even today, was about even 50 years back, was as famous, as prestigious and as prime tournament played in England and viewed and watched everywhere. During that period, the early 70s, ABC of tennis was called. The ABC of tennis is Amritraj, Vijay Amritraj of India, John Bogue of Sweden, and Jimmy Connors of United States of America. They were the three ABC of tennis. Vijay Amritraj, he had talents galore. On his day, he can beat anybody. And the problem with him was he was unable to reach finals, reach semi-finals, but could beat Jimmy Connors in the second round and third round. He could beat one of the John Newcomb in the early rounds, but he could not go beyond that. Vijay Amritraj performed fitfully, rising to dizzy heights on one day and plummeting to the depths on another. Vijay Amritraj was hailed by many as amongst the best grass court player of his generation. He had secured wins against Rod Laver, Bogue, Connors, and moreover, he was also awarded Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in 1983. But however, Vijay Amritraj never won Australian Open, French Open. He could just reach Wimbledon quarterfinals and quarterfinals of US Open. Press reporters and journalists, they declared Vijay Amritraj lacks killer instinct. That was the headlines, and they could not digest and stomach his failures anymore. Now coming to that was Vijay Amritraj of India. But as already spoken by Sergeant at Arms and President, I have few things to add or which can duplicate already mentioned by you. Killer instinct is an aggressive, tenacious urge for domination and struggle to achieve a goal. Having a killer instinct means that one has a type of spirit that is incapable of being overcome or subdued, which is the key to success. Killer instinct is really a combination of confidence, concentration, and tenacity. But mind you all, these qualities will be useless without physical skills and abilities. Most importantly, which was mentioned, again I repeat, killer instinct is not an inherited trait, but learned hard way. It needs to be learned, earned, and practiced consistently. Amongst our Toastmasters, we also had one killer instinct. Ralph C. Midley, who started Toastmasters Club in 1924, Santa Ana, California, at YMCA. The purpose of the club was to help its members improve their communication, public speaking, and leadership qualities. The organization, which started as a single club with few members, can boast today of 3,65,000 members in 143 countries through its 16,600 clubs spread all over. To take forward this wonderful meeting, I have a team I would like to introduce. I request timer Toastmaster Dhanush to explain his role.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Have you guys seen this Marvel series called Loki? In this particular show, there are certain characters called the timekeepers, right? I am going to be the timekeeper, the timekeeper for the session, right? As the timekeeper, even in the show, right, what they do is they make sure the whole timeline of everyone's lifetime, what we are doing, stays input, right, for a good lifetime. So that's what my role is. But in that, they are a little bit of a villainous role, but I'm going to hear for the positive side of it. As the timekeeper, there are certain rules we will have to follow for a good session. Like for example, for the prepaid speech session, there are allotted time will be around 5 minutes. I will show the green card. For 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and for the 7 minutes, I will show the red card. Right? And for the table topic session, each speaker will have a minimum time of 1 minute. I'll show the green card, 1.5 minute yellow card, and 2 minutes I'll show the red card. I will share my evaluation at the end of the session.
I think the hands are not clapping, your fingers must be clapping, and there is a big round of applause. And let us have this day, the rest of the day, a little more positive. I call upon grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. In the company where I was working, there was some issue between the youngsters who joined recently and the very senior engineers. Working style, attitude, the work ultimately suffered. It went down up to ED's level, executive director's level. He thought something has to be done. He called a meeting, conference hall, addressed everybody. The youngsters were on side, seniors within. He said, this gentleman, I want that all youngers and olders should work harmonically. The beauty of it is, all the three words were wrong. But did you not make sense of this, what you wanted to say? Yeah. It made sense. All three words were wrong, but it made sense. So that there's a school of thought that as long as it makes sense, as long as people understand this, the communication is complete, it is okay to be wrong. But I won't entirely agree, because a grammatical speech, a speech with the grammatically correct, adds certain zing to the speech. It gives certain different kind of flavor, and we should consciously try to practice as far as possible to be grammatically correct. My job as the grammarian today is to ensure that as far as possible we use grammatical or bring it to your notice if there are any bad usages, incorrect usages to my mind, with my limited knowledge, and also to bring to your notice some good usages so that we can use it in future speeches. We also have a word of the day. Today's word of the day is galore. The usage that has been put here. Our club's 25th anniversary was a fun-filled event with entertainment galore. I think already Sergeant at Arms has already used once, so including Toastmaster also is used. I think I encourage all the speakers to try to use it in one way or other in the correct usage in our speeches. I will keep track of that and present my report during general evaluation to the general evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat. I now request our counter, distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara to
we use some filler words, etc., and rather. So these are the filler words as you try to gather your thoughts. So you can get over this if you observe yourself more so when it is published or put in YouTube, how many of words are going to be reported here. But apart from that, what is that you instinctively use so that you can get over that observing it yourself. Okay, it is pointed out here, but beyond that there is something that you have to correct it and internalize in such a way that you get rid of that. I will be reporting such usages during the general evaluation session. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara. I now request PP Evaluator Toastmaster Apoorva to explain her role.
It is raining today, galore in Bangalore. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, as the PP Evaluator, I shall note any usage regarding sex, religion and politics. I also request everyone to keep their phone in silence. I also request everybody to move, exit and enter only during an applause. I will give the report during my general evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva, for that PP evaluator role being explained. Now, for the benefit of Toastmasters once again and guests, I will quickly run over because he has already attended one meeting. The typical Toastmaster meeting consists of 3 sessions. Prepared speech session, where the speaker with a prepared speech, as the timer mentioned about the time taken, speech. The second session is the table topic session. Speakers are randomly chosen and the topics are, to the best of the table topic master, he tries to give it to the right speaker based on the topic. And the third session is general evaluation session, where the entire proceedings of the meeting will be evaluated. Now we will dive into the first session. I request the individual evaluator to read out the guidelines.
The purpose statement. The purpose of the project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Notes for the evaluator, that is me. This member is completing their first speech in Toastmasters. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation of their speech and delivery style. Because the icebreaker is the first project a member completes, you may choose to use only the note section and not the numerical score. If you know you will be the evaluator ahead of the meeting, communicate with the speaker to learn about them and the goals for their first speech. Be sure to set aside enough time in your schedule to meet with the speaker after the speech to review the evaluation and answer any questions they may have. All the best, Chinmay.
Since it is icebreaker, I welcome the speaker to introduce himself to this audience.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I am Chinmay. I am here to share my glimpse of my journey, my thoughts, my passion and my dreams. So I was born in this very beautiful city. We also call it as City of Forts, Chitradurga, on March 22nd, 2004. My father is a VP engineer who works at Value Point, while my mother is a loving homemaker. And I have my younger sister who is currently pursuing a 12th grade at TAPG College. So I finished my schooling back in 2019 at SSVM school, which is located at Vivipuram, Vanivilas Road. And I finished my PU degree from 2019 to 2021 in Diksha, which is there at Tyagaraja Nagar here itself. So now I'm currently pursuing my BTech and I'm in second year, and my stream is electronics and communication engineering. So even though my main stream is electronics and communication, my passion is in artificial intelligence and machine learning. The scope it offers, the possibilities it offers is very unique, and it is what keeps me motivated to explore more and more, and to an extent that nobody has ever uncharted or unexplored. I want to explore those bits as well. So even though I'm doing a project, multiple projects, it's not just a subject of study to me. It is a driving passion that helps me move on with my life. So my journey is not just shackled within the bounds of AI and ML. So music has been an integral part of my life, and I have journey, and it has been a wonderful 10 years of journey. From being a student, from being able to represent many events, programs, from being to represent my school in national and state championship and winning it as well, and to being a teacher, I guess I've journeyed a long way. So music is very important. It's just like how I breathe. It's just like oxygen to my life. So without music, I believe that my life is completely worthless. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. So moving on, other than singing, I love listening to hip hop and reggae music, which is Jamaican music. So it kind of makes me feel calm and chill. So, and other than music, I love playing COD, PUBG and other games. And yeah, and even I'm a very huge anime geek. So if anyone wants anime references, I am there. Yeah. Okay. So moving on, I will just cover. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Moving on, I will just cover my one more passion. Simultaneously covering why I joined Toastmasters. So my one more passion is being an entrepreneur. So I have observed many entrepreneurs who are successful and many entrepreneurs who have failed a lot of times, but yet they keep continuing to grow. I always wonder why they do that. Even though they have failed many times, why are they still pursuing it? So once, I have seen many entrepreneurs who have built unicorn companies, but within a snap, they have come down as well. But still, they aren't giving up. Why? Is it because they have the right set of skills, or is it because they have a dedicated team, or is it because they are passionate about it? I wondered why is it they are not giving up. So then I realized that it's their killer instinct which motivates them to not give up and keep pursuing what they desire to be. So that is I guess that's the gap between me and them which is missing, and I guess I have to implement it in order to be a successful entrepreneur. Or even if I fail many times, I hope I can get a valuable experience out of it which I can use later in my later parts of life. And there have been many stories. I have heard many stories there is one, you might know him, Ritesh Agarwal. He is the CEO of Oyo. So when he was around my age, he started his first company named Oravel Stays, wherein he helped tourists to locate hospitalities nearer to the tourist spots. But he failed, at the same time he failed very quickly. Why he failed? But he didn't give up. The main thing was he didn't give up. Why he failed? When he realized it, he realized one thing, that tourists didn't want, the places. They wanted the comfortability, and the maintenance wasn't good in those localities. So he then pivoted his company and made a new company called, as which you all know, it's Oyo, wherein he provides good maintenance and ensures that the tourists are comfortable while traveling the journey. One more such example is Audio. It was a podcast sharing website back then, but when iTunes was launched, they too had to fall back. But what kept them driving was they never gave up and they pivoted again. And now they have a story sharing platform, and today it's there in all our phones and we use it regularly. It's Instagram. So hearing these kind of stories, I felt energized, and I felt motivated. Even I can also do. Even I can also try. Even if I fail, I don't care. But I will be happy that I have tried. So that's what I'm passionate about, and that's the main reason for me to join Toastmasters. So initially my uncle was the one who suggested me to join Toastmasters. But later on, I realized that Toastmasters is not just a communication platform which will help you to develop your communication skills and build up your courage and confidence. It also helps you in understanding how to engage people and how to convey your message so that it reaches the right set of audience, and it helps you build your passion even more. So ending my speech with my title Matsya Marga. So when you observe this word Matsya Marga, it's just one word, but it has two meanings, Matsya and Marga. Matsya meaning fish, Marga meaning path. When you combine it, it becomes the path of the fish. If you have noticed in a lake or a pond, the path of the fish, you can't predict it. It's unpredictable. So is our life, so is our journey. Our journey is unpredictable, and yet we have two major elements. One is the art of never giving up, and one is the passion with which we can continue our journey even though there are unpredictable odds facing us. So I know it's chill outside, but don't let your passion dry up. Keep your passion burning. Thank you.
To be honest, my first speech was not that confident. Going to the second speaker. Before I introduce the speaker, can I call upon Evaluator Toastmaster Vijay Upendra? I request everyone to listen carefully to the guidelines, the speech guidelines. Therefore, the speech becomes more important when you listen to it.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Notes for the evaluator, that is me. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing their body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication, along with their vocal variety, including pace, tone, pitch and volume. About this speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the members' awareness of their intentional and unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movements as well as movements that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Use this evaluation for speakers who have indicated they want to be evaluated on body language or body language and vocal variety. If the member has indicated they only want to be evaluated on vocal variety, please use the speech profile available on the base camp. All the best to the speaker. Back to you, MC Abhi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. The second speaker is a computer engineering student at PS University and a bit of fitness freak, and the person hits the gym regularly. Running marathons is her thing, and already completed a 10K race. Currently preparing for 21-kilometer run, which the speaker hopes to run soon. The speaker is also very inclined towards trekking and on conquering top 7 peaks on all 7 continents someday. Despite technical background, the speaker has got strong passion for finance and management, particularly enthusiastic about stock market and now looking to venture into crypto market. With a big round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Anusha. Anusha Naik.
Good evening, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. It's a rainy and chilly day today, and I would like to share one of my experience on one such day. Have you all ever had any encounters with a supernatural power, or have any moments that sent chills going through your spine, or had any horror into friends who would just come up to you and be like, I have a story to tell and hear me out? So my first clash with this ghost was with a ghost called Bloody Mary. Yeah. So back when I was around 12 or 13, it was in my school days, and it was a rainy day just like this, and our teacher was on a holiday. So it was a free hour. And one of my friend comes up and she's like, guys, listen, I have a story to tell you all. So she calls all of us. We go huddle up in corner of a classroom. Cold. It was a dark day, gloomy outside, raining. So we all huddle up and she's like, I have something to tell you all. And we're like, what is it? She's like, do you know what? I just heard a story of a ghost called Bloody Mary and she's real. I've tried it. She comes. I've seen her. And we're like, what? Did you actually see a ghost? She's like, yeah, I actually saw one. And she's really true. And most of them are like, dude, come on, that's just stories, it's just fictional, people just talk about it. And the other goes, no, my grandmother's actually told me a story and ghosts are real. And we're like, okay, fine, maybe like tell us all so that we all can try and see if you're lying or telling the truth. So the story goes like this. So she's like, now all of us will go to the washroom, go in, flush, go, stand in front of the mirror and chant this thrice. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And then look beside you through the mirror and you will see her standing right next to you. And we were like, no, come on, that's bullshit. And then finally, 5 of us mustered the courage and we were like, you know what, let's try it out. We have nothing to do now, let's give it a shot. We're like, okay, so all of us went, all of us outside standing. And my first friend decided, I'll do it, this is bullshit, I'll go try it out. She goes in. We all are waiting out to know what happens. We're just waiting, whispering, talking. And after 5 minutes, she comes running outside, screaming. She's like, I cannot do this is scary, I cannot. And she comes out. And then the second goes, and she comes out pale. And then I decided to go. I was like, am I being stupid? Is this even fair? Okay, but like, you know what, let's try. Let's give it a shot. So I walked in, it was empty. I walked in, went in, flushed, nothing happened. Went in, stood in front of the mirror. Stood there, looked at myself. It was empty. It was silent. No pin drop, nothing. And then I was like, okay, let me start. So I told the first time, Bloody Mary. Again I looked. I saw around. It was silent again. I could hear the raindrops outside. I could hear the wind gushing outside and the windows rattling because of the rain and the wind. I stood and then I go again, Bloody Mary. And then I look at myself again. It's just me. And then again, thoughts are running in my head. My heart is beating really fast. And then my thoughts are like, should I be really doing this? What if she actually comes? What if she follows me back home? What do I do? I stood. And then I was just about to say the 3rd time. And something falls. Thud. Falls. Just like the banner fell today, but that day, it was louder. It was, I don't know if it was my mind or what, but it intensified in my brain. And it was a bit silent, no one around. And I stood. My legs stopped. I was looking down. I did not have the guts to look at the mirror. I took a deep breath. And all I knew I had to do was run. I took a deep breath and ran outside. I ran for my life. And the minute I saw my friends, I let out a deep sigh of relief and like, thank God you guys are here. And then I decided to look back because my friends were here. I thought, let me look back and see if she's actually not following me. And then I turned around and thankfully no one was there. And I don't know what it was that day. I don't know if it was the wind or it was a pigeon that sneaked in or if it was actually Bloody Mary. I don't know. And that is my first encounter with ghosts, or maybe it was just my mind. And since that day, I have hated horror. Hate. And it's not that I'm scared of watching horror movies, but you know what happens after watching movies? It's like, in the dark, what if someone's behind me? What if someone's next to me? What if someone's breathing on my neck? It's that fear which scares me more than the horror movies. And that was my first encounter with ghosts. Thank Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anusha, for that.
She's calling.
Now, moving on, I request the individual evaluator, Raja Prasad, to explain.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Notes for the evaluator: the speech is about a time when a member was a protege, and it may be from any of the time in her life. The member may discuss any aspect of the protege experience. The speech should not be a report on the content of the introduction to Toastmaster mentoring project. I'll be giving my evaluation when called upon. So all the best to the speaker, and I know you have the killer instinct.
Half the introduction was already given, but yet I'll try to complete. Yes, the speaker can take any roles very comfortably, like a duck taking to a water. And a passionate Toastmaster, a team person, can handle topics behind the lectern comfortably. Working at Infocon in Human Resource Department, HRD, she has done diploma in counseling skills from Banjara. She volunteers as a counselor, and she is a voracious reader and like to read fictions in particular. We give a big round of applause to welcome Toastmaster Jyothi Rao.
At school, we had monitors and we called them manitors. Here at Toastmasters, we have mentors and we call them tormentors. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As an amateur, I was open to take up any roles and responsibility on any professional front. I found myself standing at the threshold of heading the HR department. To enhance my skills on document and policy writing, my senior advised, Jyothi, make sure that you use language objectively and not subjectively. Jyothi, make sure not to use adverb words like very, always, never. On building up a team and managing the conflicts, she added, Jyothi, listen to them, but be sure to be assertive in your words and tone. I gained confidence as I completed task after task in an objective approach of managing decision making and communicating. I'm a self-seeking person, passionate about life expressions. I like to touch hearts of the people for their inner progression and my inner journey too. Due to my versatile interest, I am a bit disorganized, which reduces my focus. Sequential and structured thoughts evade me. To overcome all these shortcomings, my conviction was so strong that I landed at Mekon Communication Club. Here, I chose a mentor who could guide me to walk straight and precise. I had no stage fears. I had abundance. I had gallon of stories in my backpack. I thought writing a speech and delivering it as an easy cakewalk. Living in an imaginary world is easy. To bring it out into reality is an ordeal. Most of the time, I had multiple thoughts. My mentor made sure that before I start writing a speech, I go through a sequence of procedures to read and understand the goal and purpose of the speech, to write it on a single line agenda. Numerous times I had multiple line of thought. He would say, make sure that you have a single line thought, because multiple lines of thoughts confuses and scatters the crux of the speech. As always, at one point of time, when writing my speech, I had multiple lines of thoughts, and it made sense to me. In my head thought, it was apt. I thought it took innumerable telephonic sessions for my mentor to make me see the absurdness of such mixed up layout. And yet I thought, my mentor does not understand me. I will do as I want. I'll go ahead as I wish to. And I started practicing my script a couple of times, and I myself got confused as to what I was blabbering. I then understood a shift of thought requires your commitment, your sincerity, and patience. Comprehension, listening, and speaking is a skill which is unique. And my mentor said, the base, the structure of a writing speech has three parts. The opening, body, conclusion. Opening is where you create interest, you draw the attention of the audience. The body is the core matter of the subject of the speech, and the conclusion is where it is a takeaway for the audience, which should be connected with the opening. Oh, wow. A complete 360 degree of learning. Most of the time, I found amidst a mountain of provoking questions by my mentor. Have you written down your thoughts? Have you given title to the speech? How many words are there in the speech? What about the paragraph? Have you thought about the transition? And on and on and on is questions. I thought all this was very trivial and not important. Once again, my mentor made me understand these small things makes a big difference. It brings clarity and value to the speaker and the audience and the listener. I realized I had to shift my perception. And then I understood the difference between mentoring and coaching. Coaching is formal, it is skill or task oriented, whereas mentoring is an overall growth of the mentee in their complete thought process, understanding, comprehension, listening, everything comes in. I believe the journey of mentoring is a win-win situation for both the mentor and the mentee. A few weeks back, as I completed my speech delivery here, I looked at my mentor's eyes and it said I had done well. And I was so elated. I was so elated. Of the many mantras my mentor has given me, one mantra that has made an impact on me is when he said, master the art of public speaking. Master the steps of public speaking. Style will naturally follow. I understood that mentors are there to make us burn and churn. And now, here and now, with pride I say, mentors are not tormentors. Mentors are not tormentors. They are the guiding light. Thank you, and back to the MC.
A round of applause for the first session. We now move on to the second session, that is table topic session. I introduce the table topic master, A passionate traveler and believer in the transformative power of exploration, she goes beyond just being a tourist, fully immersing herself in different cultures and experiences around the world. From sitting with Naga sadhus absorbing their energy to skydiving over the majestic Red Canyon in Vegas, she embraces life with a profoundness of experience. The table topic master's passion doesn't stop at adventure. She is also dedicated to the growth and development of children. Since a decade, she has been an integral part of the Achieve School of Education, shaping young minds and fostering their potential. Now, the table topic master has launched A Plus or A Positive, a new initiative under the Achieve Group, with a focus on nurturing and guiding children to reach their full potential. She is determined to make a positive difference in their lives. Please give a big round of applause to welcome Toastmaster Keerthana.
Namaste and good evening. Usually I associate the rainfall that we saw today with torrential, but because it's the word of the week, galore, so we did have a galore of rainfall. Thank you. Okay, table topics. If there's one thing that we realize how vulnerable we are, it's probably in this segment, because you are right here, the topic is spontaneous, and you're going to be here behind the lectern for your chosen time. So you realize, how strong your muscle memory is, and you realize how you can actually play up with words while you're here. So all the best. So I have chosen nice, sweet topics, and hope you all have a good time here. So the first topic is share a childhood memory that still brings a smile to your face. And this goes to Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you, table topic master. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests present here. So it's not a very fond memory as such, it's a little bit of funny and embarrassing memory. So when I was in high school, I was a cricket player. I went for coaching for like 6 to 7 years. And the coaching center where I used to go, they had arranged a tour to Malaysia, where we go and play against the Malaysians. So it was a 9-day trip, and 5 days was the match, remaining 4 days we can just roam around and explore the place. So on the last day of the trip, our flight was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so our coaches told us to pack our bags and be downstairs by 8 o'clock and hand over the room keys to the reception. So I was sharing a room with one of my teammates, one of my friends. We packed our bags. He just told me to hand over the keys to reception. So Malaysians don't have their own language. When they have their own language, they don't speak English. So I go to reception and I hand over the keys. The receptionist takes the keys and she tells, "Terima kasih." I got furious. I'm like, what did she say? Did she say something about my mother? I went to my friend, I'm like, do you know anybody whom I can report about the receptionist? Do you know where can I find the hotel manager? He's like, what happened? What did she say? Did anything happen? I'm like, she told something about my mother. Like, how did you understand Malaysian language first of all? Okay, what did she say? And I told him what exactly happened, and he pointed towards a small board which was there right next to the receptionist, which said, "Terima kasih" means thank you in Malaysian language. I'm like, oh, sorry, that's my bad. It was my misunderstanding. A little bit of embarrassing moment because I created a very good scene in front of my teammates as well. So that's one thing I always remember once in a while and always have a laugh on my own. So until next time, terima kasih, and back to the.
Well, it's moments like this, right? So we will always cherish, no matter how embarrassing it is. And the next topic is, what is the most valuable piece of advice you've received from a mentor or a role model? This goes to Shiva.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for this wonderful topic. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. the most valuable piece of advice that I've received from a mentor. Okay, I don't really have a person that I have as a strong mentor in my life. I have a lot in Toastmasters, but not in life as such. But one of these people that I follow online, and he told, and he's a YouTuber, and he said that there are many things that are important in life, right? You need to have money because that is how you lead your life. You need to have maybe good health, definitely, money, health, but above all of this is the most important thing in life. And this is not just me saying it, but this has been scientifically proven, right? And that is the relationships that you have in life. The secret to a happy life, and as said by, I think revealed by a study made by Harvard University, is the relationships in your life. So you might think right now, in your 20s, in your 30s, that okay, if somebody doesn't agree with me, I will just leave them, I'll throw them to the trash, even if they are my own parents, even if they are my friends. I don't need anybody because I am the person who is right. And the same person who is in your 20s right now, you will come back in your 30s saying, you know what, I was wrong back then. The relationships are important. Because if you have seen, I have seen people like this, if you have seen people who live all by themselves, who have lost almost touch with society, and I have someone like this in my close circle, the situation that they are in because of lack of interaction with people, lack of any social interaction is pathetic, and you will feel so much of pity for them that you just understand instantly that it's okay, if I don't have health, I can improve it later on. If I don't have money, I can do some job and earn it. But if I don't have good relationships, I'm probably not getting anywhere in life. Right? So the most important thing that I have learned from a person that I look up to is that the relationships in your life are number one. They matter. With that, over to the table topics.
Couldn't agree more. Relationships are everything. What is the one thing you wish you had known when you were younger, and how would it have affected your life? What is the one thing you wish you had known when you were younger, and how would it have affected your life? And this goes to K Prabhakara.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome. Yes. It's not easy to summarize this, but looking back, I would say that time is something that can be expanded. Believe it or not, it's an unusual statement. Time is something we think that if you just spend it, it just goes away. It's just, you can waste it away, but you can expand it. And when I say next sentence, you will understand what I am trying to say. In an exam, 3 hours is given, for example, that you write. The focus that is there within you, and then you transfer it to the paper in front of you, is such that some people can put more on the paper and get more marks. What you put into that time is the one that matters, ultimately in life. And the extent to which you can do it is providing undivided attention to what you are doing is the one that gives the illusion or gives you the physical transfer of expansion of time. This I wish I had learned little earlier, because I used to move from one space like playing cricket to studies all through the day. But when I look back, getting rid of what was already gone past me was not easy. If I go from Toastmasters here and have my dinner, and if I have done well or not done well, the thought right now that are going through my mind will keep on running in my mind. How do I close it to take up the next task with undivided attention? Called concentration is something I learned later on in my life. This is one thing I thought I should share with you all. Over to Kevin.
Thank you, sir, for your invaluable share. Moving on. If you could switch careers with anyone in this room, who would it be and why? Sai
Topics master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would choose to, switch my career with a lot of people here. We have someone like Balaji who's leading a school, also you. But there's one exclusive person I would love to, switch my career is with Raja's career actually. He works as a construction technologist, and for a long time I was thinking construction is all got to do with manual work and everything related to it. But he told me the other day that you can use AI to generate buildings these days. And I was curious, how exactly do you do that? Because that is something you need to have a ground level knowledge of. And without having ground level knowledge, how are you going to know which pillar comes where, how is it going to be strong enough and all that? That intrigued my curiosity and I was very interested, and I actually went back and I looked up. AI actually generates a clear-cut blueprint of whatever you want to construct. Give it the size, give it the dimensions, give it the floors, give it whatever information you have a final output. And the other day I came across my friend who actually works in an AI field, and he got a client who wants him to develop a tool which you can use it to construct something like this. And he told me it is practically impossible. I was shocked because my research was something which said you can do it, and what he said was you couldn't. I asked him why would you say so? Because he told me if that was the case, half the civil engineers would be out of jobs on the day they graduate. It made total sense to me. But then this is the only career I would want to. Thank you.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? And this goes to Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Table Topics Master, for the wonderful topic. So, if I had to have dinner with any historical figure, I love history. I am passionate about reading stories. I'm very interested in this. So, I would like to have dinner with Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose because there are a lot of conspiracy about his death, about his life journey, the freedom struggle he went through, everything. So I would want to actually know what really happened. There are many movies which have been shot about this as well, but there is no clear history, clarity. There is no clarity about what actually happened, and there are also stories where they say that he went missing or he was killed in a flight crash. There is also stories about the thing that he was hidden like a spy in somewhere in Japan. There are a lot of stories which says that he was in Russia post-independence, especially when our late president Shastri was Lal Bahadur Shastri was in Russia, and there was also a conspiracy theory about his killing and everything. So lot of stories regarding it. So this one thing has always been very interesting to me, and that's why I would want to have dinner with him. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that would be such an interesting dinner topic to have. If you had the opportunity to start a new business or organization, what would it be and what problems would it solve? And this goes to
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. All along my life, this is exactly what I was trying to do. trying to do something new and failing every time. The one thing business I did, I wanted to enter into direct marketing. You know, this some books, expensive books costing some 100, 200, but I used to, we were asked to sell for something like 50,000, 60,000 to prospective clients. That was the idea. It's an American product. And we are supposed to do, you know, to all the wished people and all that, do cold calling. I made the mistake. One day I saw one very nicely dressed children entering in the huge compound of a house, and I thought that, okay, this is the right candidate I should be catching, because they are very rich people, and I just didn't see the board there. Dog beware, it was there. I didn't see that. I just entered, and suddenly I find one Alsatian had just bounced on me, and I just fell down into Alsatian two legs on my body, and I was just looking up like this. The owner of the house, a lady, a fashionable, a very gracious lady, she opened the door and she came running and, Tiger, stop, he said. The tiger, the Alsatian dog, he came out. He said, why? He said, I'm sorry, I should have seen the board. The dog did it, I'm sorry. Have you hurt yourself? Actually, the Alsatian had already torn my shirt, and I had hurt in the thing. There was a blood mark on my, everything was suffering. She went inside to bring medicine and all that. Then she told, okay, what happened? And who are you? He said, ma'am, I am a educational consultant for World. So I got wonderful book materials for you to sell. I would like to give. She looked at me, then looked at the dog. Tiger, attack! So that was the end of my another career. So I retired ultimately as a deputy general manager in Mecon Limited, and I'm happy about it. Back to you.
If you were given a 1 week all expenses paid vacation to any destination in the world, where would you go and who would you take with you? It goes to Dhanush.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. One of my dream destinations which I would love to go is Honolulu, Hawaii. So the first time I ever encountered about this place is in my favorite movie, that's Jurassic Park. So I always thought it is a fictional place, but when I grew up more and I know more about it, there was actually a place called Honolulu, Hawaii, right? So everyone has this particular dream of settling down in an exotic place. But I first want to visit this particular place because there are a lot of pros and cons. But with who I want to visit is definitely with my friends. That is a place where I just don't want to be with my loving partner itself. I want all my friends to be around as well. So that's one of the places which gives me so much bliss, because there are few things which I love, but one is the beach and one is the mountains. And both of them are together in that particular island. And I've heard the weather is good and it's a laid-back city, and that is where I come. That's where I would want to go. And one of the additional factors why I want to go to Honolulu is because my favorite actor Keanu Reeves is there from there. So hopefully he retires and goes back to his hometown and we can chill together, and with all my friends. So that's one of the places I would want to go.
Favorite actor is a common one now. Describe a memorable encounter with a stranger that had a positive impact on your day. And this goes to Udanka. Describe a memorable encounter with a stranger that had a positive impact on your day.
Okay. So I would firstly, good evening for the Toastmasters and Topics Master. I would not say a stranger perhaps, but I knew him, I've heard about his name a lot. I met this person right yesterday. His name was Kadiravan Peti, who is a renowned Toastmaster. So when I met him, he was conducting a session in one of the event on storytelling, and he had given some activity for the audience to take care, and he came back, and I was at the backstage. He started interacting with me, like, what are you doing? What's your current role in Toastmaster, and how is your life going on? So I happened to explain him what happened in my past couple of months, and the talk he gave it to me, why I should be taking over the family now, and why I should be strong in terms of everything that matters around for me, let it my personal life, Toastmasters life, or my career. The wordings which he used, that actually mattered to me. Though I was going through a very worst phase in a couple of months, that disappeared that very moment. He had some magic in his words saying that why I should be strong. He just told one thing. At the end of the day, you're the one who will live with you. That actually mattered to me. And I realized what exactly I was doing wrong and what exactly I was doing right. And that actually changed my perspective of seeing things from right yesterday. And I'm a little thankful for him because it happened. I happened to meet him at the right person. They say, right, meeting at the right people at the right time changes your time. And that exactly happened to me yesterday. And I'm really thankful to that person. Back to you, Robert.
You met him yesterday and you got to talk about him today. Wow, fantastic. If you could master any skill or talent overnight, what it would be and why? And this goes to our guest from Hubli.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. This is my favorite topic, and this was CM asked by one of the table topic master in our club 2 months back. So it is something at the morning as how do I manage my time? This is something I want to acquire as the time. How do I enhance the management of time? This is one thing. And second is I am more of a spiritual person. So how do I enhance the skill of spirituality is second thing. So because I believe in the Hindu book Bhagavad Gita, so where my mother teaches me. So this is something I want to learn, and there's even skill which I think understanding the spirituality. This is second thing. And the third thing is how do I enhance the management of leadership. This is very important because day-to-day activities coming from a day we interact with our families, how do we manage in house is very important. Second is how do we manage the art of leadership with colleagues and with the strangers, because as table topic, the Toastmaster Udanka told, strangers teaches us a lot. So that is something that is I want to go to you.
Thank you, that was lovely. Share a personal mantra that guides your life and explain its significance. And this goes to Vijay.
Thank you, table topic master. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. The mantra that I would like to say is the inner travel that is being said in Sanskrit. That is very important. Many people say that money is important. True, money is important up to a particular level or a barrier. Beyond a particular barrier, it is a spirituality that really plays a vital role. We have seen many people who have acquired crores of rupees committing suicide. Why this? There is no inner travel. There is no understanding of what really happens within our own self. Not understanding our own self, getting in a chaotic situation, making a mess of ourselves is no answer for our life at all in the first place. So spirituality means understanding our own spirit. That is the energy inside, which is otherwise known as soul or Atma. That is very important, which you are referring now. We have to travel inside to understand our own self. For that, we need a calm mind. To reach that level of calmness, we need introspection. Without introspection, it is not possible to reach the level of calmness of mind at all. Such is the case. What I don't understand within myself, I advocate many things to the others. Is it not ridiculous? That's where present generation have got a lot of problems. They are chasing many things outside. They don't know what's going inside at all. So it's always better travel inside, teach kids also to become calm, how to become calm inside, so that slowly and steadily they become a better person and better human beings. They will contribute to the society for the good things. Thank you and back to you.
Totally agree with you, sir. Inside is the new out. Describe a place you've never been but always wanted to visit and explain what draws you to that destination. Describe a place you've never been but you always wanted to visit and explain what draws you to that destination.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you, Table Topic Master, for that topic. Describe a place that you've never been to. Alaska. I would really like to go there. I don't know too much about the place, but it holds a certain magic for me. I know that you have to take a cruise to go there and see all the different islands that are there, and the way that they live life over there is very, very unique. It's very harsh climate, and the people there live a very, a rough life, but they are very happy people. So when you go to Anchorage from Canada and you land there, you are supposedly met with this beautiful visual that I have seen. And that's all I really know about that place. It's been a dream for me to go visit, and I hope to go visit sometime. And that's all I have about that. So thank you very much.
And this is the last topic. If you were given the opportunity to travel back in time to any historical event, which one would you choose to witness and why?
I don't understand why I get all the difficult topics these days. The one historical event that I would like to go back to is probably the freedom movement in India. Because my dad is a great Gandhi follower. He's done a multiple Gandhi studies. He's researched a lot about it. Not to speak the pro and two cons of the freedom fighters and who contributed more or who contributed less or anything. But apart from that, a lot of freedom fighters during this movement struggled for that freedom movement in India. My father, being himself, who studied this particular subject for more than 3 years after his MA, would often make us practice a lot of these things that Gandhi followed. It would be like clean the house by yourself, clean your washrooms by yourself, clean your clothes by yourself, or be truthful, be honest, or if you have something to speak, be patient, take that non-violent route. Somehow I have not followed that one particular thing. And this is one historical moment that I would like to go back to, because my father cherishes it a lot. He's somebody who looks up to all these freedom fighters, the national leaders, the very first people to write the democracy of India, the people who coined the constitution, the people who wrote the rules, regulation, and how we are, what we are today, what makes us today. So the one thing that I would like to be part of is that one particular night that we got freedom. Maybe I wish I was there when my grandfather witnessed this particular movement. I wish I was there to witness that particular event that inspired my father a lot. I wish I could also see all these things and feel in my blood why exactly we belong to India and what is that our ancestors, our freedom fighters gave us to our citizens, and whatever we are living today, the India we live in today is probably the gift that they left upon. So one event that I would always want to go back to and live is that one particular event which inspires us today as Indian citizens. That's all.
Thank you, table topic master, and also the speakers who responded for the topics that she gave you. We will have 10 minutes.
Can we have 5 minutes break? We are
Correct.
already late.
Actually, correct.
Usually more
Agreed.
than 20 minutes we are
Agreed.
late.
Actually, what I wanted to say is we will have 10 minutes break, but not 11th minute. We will come back inside because we are already late. I am following the time, but AKP sir says that we'll make it by 5 minutes, and we will try to do that because it's raining outside and we are already late. Welcome back. We have come before 10 minutes at least. Let me thank you all. Now, first session is over and the second session is over. Now we will quickly dive into the third session. That is the general evaluation. The general evaluation session is the one which every aspect of the meeting that has happened so far will be evaluated. The proceedings of the meeting so far will be evaluated. And today's general evaluator is a passionate photographer, then enthusiastic traveler, and a foodie. Now when I say foodie, you might think that he must be a little lazy and would have conquered less in his life. But he had that killer instinct. Before the theme was discussed, he knew about it. And this gentleman is an youngest distinguished Toastmaster in India through Pathways, record holder in India Book of Records, Triple Crown winner, club sponsors for 2 clubs, club mentor for 1 club, conducted speechcraft for 30 members, past club president, area director, division director, and current public relations manager of District 121. A big round of applause. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Udanka.
Thank you for that lovely introduction with Master of Ceremony. So let's quickly dive into the general evaluation, and we started a couple of delayed, that is accepted because due to the weather, myself was not there, and in X factors we can avoid that. Second, we had our business session starting off, and our president started off with congratulating Toastmaster Sai Snehal on winning the table topic contest, and I'm still waiting for the VP update from Balaji when he's back there. So that was aptly told. Followed by these SAS address. Toastmaster Lakshmi, week on week you bring on different thoughts on behind the lectern, and you inspire us, and you have been doing that very well. You start off with a great smile and you have a very good energy to set for the meeting, and you did it very well. One suggestion I have to you is the Sergeant at Arms duration is very scarce. It's main about laying the project ground rules, small introduction to the team, and handing it over to the president. Your ground rules was good, your introduction for the president was good, but the middle part which said theme, it was slightly elaborated today. So if you could cut short at, and it's not just with respect to the delay what we had, but in general as a Sergeant at Arms, you could stick on to your time, and a crisp introduction on the theme would do a better job. Can we have a huge round of applause for this? Followed by our president. I really like the way how Balaji appreciated the Sergeant at Arms by highlighting what is the work it takes to set up the entire meeting room. That was really articulated well. Guest introduction done well. I'm still waiting with another part of your, that is the MOM from the previous meeting you told, which will be read out later. Balaji, one thing I really appreciate what you do is you walk your talk. Whenever you are behind the lectern narrating a story or telling out any incident that happened in your life, you make sure every single person in this room is in your story, and that you, as usual, you did very well. Keep this going high. I'm a little fast. If you feel I'm a little more fast, you can stop me then, because just to keep time in consideration, I'm hurrying up a bit. Before I come to the Toastmaster of the day, let's hear it from our evaluators. Before I go to evaluators, I would request all the evaluators to respond if you have received the project guidelines and the evaluation form way before.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's quickly get into the evaluation. Our first speaker was Chinmay, speech title Matsya Marga, the Journey Unpredictable, evaluated by Toastmaster Latha N. Can we have your evaluation?
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Toastmaster Chinmay starting his Toastmasters journey with his icebreaker speech. I would like to give evaluation in the form of traffic lights, what we have the green, yellow and orange color, what we call. Now I would like to tell he covered all the points, that is family, interest and profession. All the 3 points were covered. Since he's still a student, he would not talk more about his profession. He talked about his interest and what his career goals are and what he's looking forward to in future as a profession. The greens, what I call is, you were really good at clarity of thoughts. He was very clear what he wants to do, how he wants to do, quoting us with examples and explaining us well, okay, what he's looking forward in future. The yellows, what you need to work upon, I would tell you good. Yellow means you're good at it, but you need to do a little polishing on that. That I would tell you non-verbal communication. When I talk about non-verbal communication, your body language, your hand gestures, how do you maintain contact with the audience, all that needs to be taken care. You just need a polishing on that. Now when I talk about the reds, what you really need to challenge yourself is your voice. Your voice was, I feel maybe this is your first thing. So first attempt at public speaking. So I would tell that a little voice modulation would have been better. So because your content was really good, the pointers what you came out with, the passion you spoke about entrepreneurship, you spoke about the music, what you like, what you dislike, you gave us examples, you connected very well with the content what you're doing. So if your voice modulation a little here and there, a little loud, then it would have been good for us. And I wish you all the best, and I would like to hear more speeches from you in the near future. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha. As a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the evaluator, not the speaker. First, highlight a good job done on giving evaluation without an evaluation form in front of you, or any script for that matter. Second, I really like the approach of the traffic signal you brought in the evaluation: green, yellow and orange. Not red, but you made it an orange, so it's slightly more than yellow and lesser than red. That was a good thought process. And one suggestion I have to you, since it was a first speech of a member in Toastmasters, you could be a little moderate here, because voice modulation, body language, eye contact, non-verbal communication, there were so many inputs for him to improve on or to polish on. So a more highlight on what he did really well, just like the content, the journey, what he brought in. You could have highlighted that a little more and a little less on the evaluation strong recommendations, but gradually you could have converted that into the good points. Then that was your evaluation, and you did a really great job. Can we have a round of applause for both the speaker and the evaluator? Our speaker 2 for today was Toastmaster Anusha, with the speech titled Peekaboo, evaluated by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Can we have the evaluation, please?
Thank you, G. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. My target speaker, Anusha Naik, in particular. Peekaboo. When I saw that title, I was really surprised. What is that you are going to really narrate? The way in which you started with a question, audience attention, you could achieve that. That's a plus point. And body language and vocal variety are the two pillars of this entire project. Now coming to the body language, non-verbal expression of emotion, that's done very well by you. Now vocal variety, coming to the tone part of it is an emotion behind the sound of your voice. That also you maintained very well. These are two plus points that I observed in the entire speech of yours. And one more plus point which I observed is, throughout your speech, you are smiling. That's one thing which is really wonderful. Very few speakers do that. Taking into consideration all these things, which are good from speech part of it, you have fulfilled the project requirement. Coming to the areas of improvement, you could have used the lectern space better way. That means you could have movement of your physical movement could have been better. That added to your speech evaluation part of it. And you could have used the power of silence. This power of silence plays a very vital role. When you give a small pause, that you could have used it in your speech. And your movement should be natural and comfortable. Don't force anything upon yourself, because we all come here to express ourselves, not to impress. This is a training session like. So if we improve our expression capabilities, naturally people get impressed. You don't force anything upon yourself to get the result out of it. Coming to the summary part, great speech. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Good effort by you. Expecting many more speeches from you in due course of time. All the best. Back to you, GF.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. I really like the way you took over the evaluation. First, you told him good parts where she really did well, and you highlighted the parts where she could improve in a very good, subtle manner, so that they don't take it back, they don't get offended, and they take it back in a proper way. That was really good. One thing I just observed in your evaluation while reading out the evaluation guidelines is that this project had an option of choosing one, either the body language or the vocal variety, and if the speaker should have chosen it or not. So if you would have mentioned, if you would have had a talk with the speaker and let the audience know if you're focusing on one particular part or both. Since it was mentioned in the speech evaluation, I would request you to just let it out to the audience. They have a good knowledge about this evaluation also. With that, can you have a huge round of applause for speaker and evaluator. The final speaker for today was Toastmaster Jyothi with the speech title Burn to Churn. Can we have the evaluation by Toastmaster Raja, please?
Alright, first I will start with the areas that you excelled at. There is a lot of positive points that are in galore. First one, the interesting use of rhyming words in your speech. Monitors, man-eaters, mentors, tormentors, all of that worked really well. There is a clear message on your experience, and it was well aligned with your project. So you have completed the project very well, and you have aligned with the purpose of this particular project. The story on the mindset shift was well put, and you dramatized it very well. And your voice modulation was great. And nice ending with using tormentors, changing tormentors to guiding lights. All of that was excellent. And also you used the word of the day. I believe after you came here, you added that as well in your speech. So all of these are fantastic. And there is also a clear takeaway for the audience in your speech. Master the steps, the style will follow. And also there is a clear value to the audience on the content that you spoke, how important it is to have a framework, which most of us neglect when we are actually starting. We think we know like a certain way of doing it, but once you are in that, then you will understand the patterns and different frameworks that exist that suddenly start coming to you to really get aligned on the speech. So these are the areas where you really excelled at. The areas that you can work upon. You know, Steve Jobs, before going to stage on presenting, he does a lot of practice. People tell like he's Steve Jobs, so he's practicing this much before he goes on stage and delivers it. You had the content and you are confident, your voice modulation, everything is great. There were some pauses where you had at certain locations and you are recollecting what is that content that you are about to speak. So if you would have practiced a little bit more, maybe you would have avoided those pauses. So practice is something that I would want you to do in your next speeches. The next one is maybe title could be a little different, that to align with the content that you are sharing. And to challenge yourself, last time also I saw, this time also, like you're having a certain kind of pattern in terms of you start your speech with the rhyming words. Maybe next time you can choose something else to challenge yourself. But other than that, it's a fantastic speech. You are a fine speaker, and all the best to your upcoming speeches. Fantastic, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Asha. As usual, your evaluation was in place. You had the proper opening, body, conclusion, and the wrap up by summarizing it. Before I move on to, can we have a huge round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator? Before I move on to the next role taker, I just noticed one thing common about all the three evaluators is that they are giving a little pause or repeating words what they are trying to convey, including me as a general evaluator. So one thing what I recommend or suggest you guys to do is try revising what you have to tell back in your mind before coming. We have 5 minutes networking break. Take 1 minute of that, just go through the entire evaluation, what you have written down. Then if you come back, you'll have a prescribed order or a prescribed way you want to deliver it out. So that will help your evaluation be more effective to the speaker and the audience. So that's one suggestion I have to all the evaluators in the room. Moving on to the next role taker, that was our table topics master, Toastmaster Keerthana. Toastmaster Keerthana, you were at your best. You had your introduction of the session, you gave slight humor to the session before you start, and you had a very good flow of the session. Everything was in place with just 2 more suggestions what I give you today, and if you implement, you will ace it. So one thing is, I observed that while you were transiting it from one speaker to the other speaker, you had a crisp 1 or 2 word feedback or linking it to the next speaker in only few speakers. Few speakers, it was just you come back, take over the stage, and start with the second or the next topic. So that flow you could have maintained throughout, and there were few topics which were lengthy for the audience to grab. It's not just because I asked you for the second time, because I saw many members took more than 30 seconds while recalling their thought, or just I could see that okay, it's a lengthy topic expression on their face while they were walking towards the lectern. So the topics were good. If you could rephrase it to a short phrase, it would be really good. So these 2 suggestions would make sure you ace the topic master role next time. Can we have a huge round of applause for our topic master? Yes. Before I move on to the TAPG role, I would give the evaluation of the Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Ravikumar. Toastmaster Ravikumar, it is nice to see you back behind this lectern after a couple of days. I see that once upon a time when I was back there, I saw you as an inspirational Master of Ceremony, which you did it, you were doing it before, and that energy, that camaraderie, what you had done is still here, and you brought out the energy back to the lectern is what I would say. That's really good. You had everything in place. You had the introduction to the theme, you had the connection from the theme to the Toastmasters International movement back then. Then you started off the 3 sessions, though we had one guest who was a Toastmaster and a guest who attended meeting, you made sure you have the 3 sessions rolled out so that every member is aware of what the sessions we are. Now, I have a couple of points which you could look into that will make your address more effective. Is when you introduce the speakers, you had a perfect introduction, you had a well-written introduction to them, but you missed on the speech titles. That would take a step back for the audience, because for example, Chinmay's speech, he had a very good title, Matsya Marga, the Journey Unpredicted, and it really went on, his speech really went on with this title. Even Anusha's went on, Peekaboo and the horror story what she carried. So every speaker, this title went on well today. So if you could have highlighted this title before, it's a suggestion to everyone who take up Master of Ceremony. You could follow this order which is prescribed by Toastmasters International. Title, speaker name, title. So if you could do this, it would be easy for everyone to understand what exactly they are, who is the speaker and what is the title. Second, one thing, sir, what I observed is this seating. MC's seat is reserved here and you took all the way back there. So that transition, I saw that people were waiting for you to come and hand over the lectern. So there was a seat reserved for you, you could take a seat here or there. And third, I don't know if the VP Education have guided you on this or not. From a couple of days back, we have started this practice that MC script will be a little shorter because Sergeant at Arms would have given an introduction to them. President would have spoken a lot on the theme, and even the Master of Ceremony could add on to those and little shorter. But I'm pretty sure you were not aware of that because I know how you used to conduct MC before and now. So I think it's a point where VP Education can note and place it on records that if it is a new member or an older member who is coming after a longer time, or any member for that matter, who are taking up major roles, minor roles, whatever roles is, please educate them before. Let it be the Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster of the Table Topic Master, or in fact the GE also. Give them a little guidance on how they will conduct this session, so that it will be easy for us in the meeting to conduct it well. So I thoroughly enjoyed. I saw those golden days back here behind the lectern where Toastmaster Ravikumar used to set the stage on fire. I saw that today. Welcome back to the club, sir. With that, can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Ravikumar? Before I hand over the charge, I have my team who can give me the report, starting off with the timer Toastmaster Dhanush.
It was a well-timed kept session, I would say, and we have a new introduction about the project speeches as well. We have noted down the times as well. To cut it down short, I'm going to. There were not a lot of people went below 1 minute in the table topic session, and the individual timing reports are there. Right, and the only Loki who was in a lot of mischief today, who went over time, was the president, who was allotted 5 minutes, but took around 8 minutes to 2 seconds. Then the evaluator Latha N took 1 minute 49 seconds. Evaluator Vijay Upendra took 2 minutes 13 seconds. Toastmaster Raja took 2 minutes 56 seconds. The break went on for 7 minutes 30 seconds, and the table topic session went on for 30 minutes exactly, and the general evaluation session has taken around 17 minutes up until now. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on with the next roll ticket is the R-Counter Distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I don't know how, I've been following this R-Counter in so many meetings. I don't know how they managed to find so many R's and M's. Today I didn't find any. In fact, I was searching for it. And finally ended up in two statements, I would say, a few which were repeated, not statement, few set, kind of phrases. One is, one particular one was moving on. It was used a couple of times by the first time speaker, and I would say, Mr. Chinmay, it is about you I'm talking. I want your attention. Is that all right? Yeah. So moving on, how to get rid of this? This is what Toastmasters International, the evaluation, the specification says. That is initially, he used initial stages. The idea is not that I'm addressing this to one particular person. It is general. If you have gone through that manual already available in the internet, he will say that initial words, statements, you have to have by-hearted. Conclusion by-hearted. So initially when you are trying to see this place, there is a tendency to look, you get distracted. Other way is to look inward, and that is by-hearting, so that you don't miss those things. So you are searching within and you can get rid of it. That's the one point. And the same thing was done by MC also. He initial stage, you can see your video, you were a couple of sentences, initial stage you said It was, again, you was maybe you are trying to familiarize yourself within the space. So you can get rid of it if you have rehearsed those words before you reach the lecture. This is a trick there. So this is the suggestion. Otherwise, these things can be easily get rid of. And all the best for everybody who didn't really have any such no, you know, rather.
Thank Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara. Moving on with the next role taker, that is the grammarian distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. There was good usage galore and very few not so good usages as it came to my notice. Some of the very good usages what I found was Anusha Naik, I think Anusha Naik used about that vivid usages of rain gushing, windows rattling. Good usages ran from a life. Now that vivid imagery you can create with your words, that is something really what we have to learn. Did a great job. Chinmay, the icebreaker, used the word, actually it was used as a triad, wonder, wonder, and wonder. You know, it gave so much, what you want to really wonder, to give really that. And he used a metaphor, Matsya Marga. I think the Matsya Marga used as a metaphoric sense. That is something really great. Jyothi played cleverly on some words, like which is a clever usage of words. Monitor versus man-eater, mentor versus tormentors. And rhyming words, burn and churn, which is very nice. And metaphor of guiding lights. There was used in a metaphoric sense, nice. And even the word mountains of questions. That's also a metaphor, very nicely used. And more than that, another thing is what I signed about is our Vijay Upendra's use that inner travel as the metaphor used, very nice. More than your metaphoric use, what I liked about Vijay Upendra in particular and also Sai Snehal, I think I would request you to go through when the YouTube is uploaded, you can go through their table topic responses and even evaluation responses. You know, ultimately what's important is usage of language. Ideas, articulating your thoughts and ideas and putting in such a nice manner. That is we can learn from these two persons. That's what I feel. You can go through them. Wonderful thing, good English, you have a piece of language used so nicely and effectively, both in your table topic and even in the evaluation. I think that is one thing we can learn. Coming to the word of the day, another good usage was what Lakshmi used synonyms of the theme for what is that? Killer instinct. Killer instinct synonyms: focused, unwavering, unstoppable, relentless pursuit. You know, it's all of the virtual synonyms of this, which you use so nicely. Even our Toastmaster of the day used the word tenacity. Yes, and some of the things which I felt use of the word, your word of the day. 6 persons used it, including Latha, Lakshmi, Ravikumar, Keerthana, and Raja, and Jyothi. But in not so good usages, I find that one person used the word of the day, but raining today galore. I think there is something, the usage is not so good. It should have been probably rains galore or that kind of thing. You know, of course, Keerthana said about galore of rainfall. I don't know really whether that is also correct. I think it may be correct. I am not very sure. Somewhere in the borderline. Because my knowledge of language also is quite limited. But one person used the word bullshit. Actually, probably that is something, I won't call it unparliamentary or something. It's not actually expected in a meeting of this style. We can probably use some other word for that. There is only a point I can make out. Otherwise, a wonderful, for me, there was a lot of takeaway as far as the good usages are concerned. With that, back to you, Zanila.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat. Moving on with the next tag role, that is the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Apoorva.
A great session with knowledge galore. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I observed that there was no movement or exit or entry in the room. It was only during the applause. And coming to sex, religion, politics, there was one mention of Bhagavad Gita. Other than that, nothing as such. And there was no usage of mobile phones during the session. It's just that people were using it once in a while, but not causing any disturbance. I also observed that there was a little bit of crosstalk when the speaker was speaking at the lectern. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. With that, I have covered all the role takers and my team's evaluation. Before I hand it over, I have a couple of observations throughout the meeting. As one, we had a couple of questions asked by the speaker, and there were very few members responding to the answer. So, if you could respond to the speakers whenever they're putting a question, it would be nice for them to continue with their speech or whatever the role they are taking part. So, whenever a question is asked you, make sure you respond to them so that you encourage the speaker behind the lectern. Second, as our parliamentary procedure evaluator mentioned, there were a couple of crosstalks, just not only when the speaker was there, when other role takers were performing their duties also. So if you could avoid few crosstalks and there are few talks which will be required during the meeting, that is totally accepted. There are few talks which is totally not accepted, so if you could avoid those, it would be really great. And coming to one usage which I have observed this not only in this meeting but a couple of meetings, and is whenever we are calling introducing a new member, we usually say it as Distinguished Toastmaster A K Prabhakara Sir. A prefix and a postfix is not really required. So whenever we have a prefix, please avoid it. We know we 100% respect them, their dedication, their age and everything. During a meeting decorum, let's have it, and outside it, let us make sure we call it AKP Sir, MU Sir. So in the meeting, let's avoid that Sir, Ma'am. We'll just stick on to Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster, followed by name. This is one thing, and one observation I had for the timer. Please raise your cards high so that people are aware of the timings. One observation for the president and the Toastmaster of the day from now. We had an habit in Mekon saying that the president hands over the gavel to the master of ceremony, and after the meeting, master of ceremony hands it over back to the president. We could implement that back here. And one thing I observed in today's overall, the nth part is that during the TAPG evaluation, that we had our two stalwarts, Distinguished Toastmaster A K Prabhakara and Distinguished Toastmaster MU Bhat are taking up a minor role in giving a impactful feedback. So this is how it works in Mekon. Not only a new member is taking up roles, or only the old members, or not only seasoned members taking up the roles. Every member will take up the roles so that they help each other to improve their roles, and that is why we are all here. With that, I hand over the charge back to the Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Ravikumar.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka. Very insightful. Every minute detail was addressed, and very matured general evaluation he did, and very appreciative. A big round of applause for Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka. Udanka was telling that I opted to go there, and I know this is the chair. Had I sat here for some more time, I would have gone there falling. Instead, I decided I will move out there because there is something seriously wrong with this chair. so that is the reason. But otherwise, that role, MC role, I enjoy, and the seat also enjoy, because very rarely you get that seat. Very rarely you get that seat. So, but for that, a wonderful meeting. Speeches, table topics, general evaluation, and even during the break we had good food and tea. And back to you, President. And today I will, because he has already moved it, I will give it to you.
Fantastic meeting. I think I'll also keep this real fast and quick, but definitely our G deserves a nice round of applause. For the very fact, he kept it crisp. Because generally at Mekon, I've seen this tendency, especially when we are getting late, the G wants us to go even more late, right? But G here kept us really crisp, and he added a lot of value. So just by reducing the amount of time you invest doesn't mean you'll reduce the amount of value that you're going to give. the right amount of words were told. So in the olden days, especially in the Indian subcontinent, people, especially the Orthodox Indians, would never walk out during rain. It's not because they don't like it or it's unhealthy or something of that sort. They wouldn't walk out in rain only because the rain has the ability of changing the shape of the supernatural beings around on the street. And there is a tendency when you go in this water, these unnecessary evil sources could enter your body and a negative energy could be infused in your body, which could also be evil in nature. I like the attention you're all giving me. How foolish was what I said just now? At an extreme level, or if I have to rate it, foolishness level 1 to foolishness level 10, this is foolishness number 11. We also had a very, very foolish practice in the British time, which I think our GE definitely bought out. I want to spend 2 minutes on this particular thing to throw proper light on why we should get rid of this. And working in a school environment, trust me, I don't know how I am going to do this, but tiny steps, right? As a history teacher, the word sire was introduced by the British as a matter of respect to the nobles, and also recognized that the slaves would definitely have to use it. And later from there it became the knighted ones would be used, and of course the higher officials would be used. While the inception of the name itself is not so bad, the way it was used in India was definitely bad. In India, they made every single Indian call them with the word sir, only to showcase their supremacy, and they pointed it out saying, because you are calling me sir, so please treat me like a sir. It's a propaganda. They're a colonial power and colonials have a lot of propagandas. But somehow we're still continuing. I really don't know how I'm going to do this. I really don't know how I'm going to call DTM K Prabhakara by just his name without a prefix or a suffix. I don't know how I'm going to call Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. I don't know how I'm going to call DTM U Bhat. But definitely when during our 25th anniversary meet, a very, very dignified individual, meticulous with her leadership, came out and she's like, oh my God, why are you guys still stuck up with sir and ma'am? The utmost or the biggest respect you can give to an individual is call them out by their name. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I leave this as an open challenge, like how a speaker gets points of improvement, strengths, and also a challenge. I think I'll throw this challenge out to the club. Let's start referring to people by their names. I think that's the max respect you can give them by adding a suffix like sir. It is not going to change anything. So I don't know how we're going to do this, but let's definitely try this. Would you agree, Ravi?
Yeah.
Would you agree, Vijay?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll take my time. Tiny steps away. Would you agree, Bhat? I will still take time. Okay, with that I think we'll head to our results. Thank you so much.
Shiva.
Best speaker. A woman who called out for man-eaters. Toastmaster Jyothi.
Read out the number of voters and present people. So those who have not voted, they should be cautioned.
We have the right number.
But always number is
Thank you, AKP sir. If not for him, I really would not have done. Only for I'm just in my level 2 and I have made humongous, whatever, 20 calls, 20 of calls, not once or twice. I don't know how many times I have irritated him, but because of him, I think I've got all the 3 ribbons for this level. Thank you.
Fantastic. Not very easily we use the word tormentors for mentors, right? But definitely, I think the value that DTM K Prabhakara adds, we're all subject to that fact. So kudos to such mentors who actually invest that kind of time on their mentees.
In fact, that line was not told by me to her.
Okay, so the next role for a quick, crisp, nice GE session, DTM Udanka. Best role taker, TAPG. Looks like Bhat is doing a good job with respect to the grammarian role. The winner, grammarian DTM U Bhat. Best table topic speech. This is going to take some time because there was TM Udanka and DTM Udanka. But I think the winner is clear. In a minute. I need to see TM Udanka as well. Oh, TM Udanka is not here. Okay, considering TM Udanka is not here, it is only DTM Udanka that all of you. Anyone voted TM Udanka instead of DTM Udanka?
Thought I changed it. Did anybody see Udanka's name twice?
Okay. Then perfect. We don't have a tie between 2 people, but we have a tie between 3 people. So while we get the ribbons, let's go for the best evaluator. And when he is in the competition, there is no competition. There is only giving away of ribbon. Toastmaster Raja is the best evaluator today. For the best table topic speakers, we have DTM Udanka, Toastmasters Sai Snehal, and DTM U Bhat.
You cannot use a whole text. No. You got I thought that one ribbon you have to share.
meeting number is like a nice old Hindi song. Before we sing that song, we also have a guest who is from Mekong, attending a Mekong's meet, Mekong Communication Club's meet. We'd like to know a little about you.
Yes, I'm Shankar. I'm working for mechanical engineering from the past 4 years. My native place is from Chitradurga, Karnataka. My family is living in Bangalore only. I actually every Monday I saw this meeting, Mekong Communication Club. One day I have to attend. I had no interest at that time. Because of my work, I did not able to attend that time. I feel that I have to attend. Then I come to here and this is it, sir. Just I come to here.
Super. Fantastic. I think you're in the right space. Definitely, we would love to have more number of people attending from Mekong Communication Club, because the thought of inception was itself to serve this fine institution. So having people coming in and take the right advantage of a community club like this, I think you'll be at the right space for sure. I understand we're all busy. It's about priorities and what we all need. Communication leadership is something we all need for sure. Thank you so much for coming in today. With that, this nice Hindi song that I think of, 1, 2, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and today's meeting is also 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's also raining. It's as filmy as it can get. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hereby close meeting 1, 2, 3, 4. I request you to raise for the national anthem.